Meanwhile, the nation is recognizing the lives lost to senseless gun violence. And right here in San Antonio, the group Mothers of Murder Victims gathered to share their stories of how their lives have changed because of the violence. Eyewitness News reporter Jordan Foster has that story.
We need to continue to keep their memories.
These moms want you to wear orange.
Because we can end gun violence. Thank you so much for being here.
It's to honor the lives of their sons and other children who have died from gun violence.
How we honor people is through action.
Saturday was a day of action for National Gun Violence Awareness Day, hosted by Bexar County Moms Demands Actions. San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg says gun violence is a pandemic we've been fighting for a generation.
That has been difficult to hear the stories of loved ones lost. Every life lost is a life well lived and someone who is mourned by an entire community.
All of this coming after Texas lawmakers passed a new constitutional carry law, which allows Texans to carry handguns without a license or training.
It's ludicrous that someone would need to take classes, take a certain number of hours of driving to be able to get their driver's license. But to carry a gun, you don't need anything.
Josefina Cannon's son, 29-year-old Sean Cannon, was murdered in October 2013. His case is still open and his killer is still out there. She's now a gun safety advocate and she hopes to prevent other mothers from experiencing the same pain she's gone through.
Many times these guns create violence for families.
Jordan Foster, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.